Propaganda presented Jews as traitors, killers, monsters.
Kids came and threw stones at.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, your girl. I am back with another interesting video I know you all are going to love to watch. In today's video, I'm going to be reacting on this particular video, After Hitler, what happened to the Jews in the Philippines. This video is a history on how the Philippines helped the Jews during the time of war. So guys, I'm not going to be wasting your time on this video. If you're new to this platform, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and let's become one big family, okay? Don't forget to click the bell icon so you don't get to miss out each time I bring videos like this your doorstep. So without wasting much of the time, guys, let's dive into this video. Watch it together, and at the end of it, we'll know the reason why the Jew love the Philippines so much. Let's watch the video together and react on it as usual, okay?
I remember the Germans came.
The mob was screaming bloody murder. Kill the Jews.
We were hiding in the cellar.
They broke into the store and were looting.
We went downstairs after they left, and there was nothing left.
I still have nightmares to this day.
We apparently got a letter that said you have to leave Germany.
We were the last train out of Berlin.
Was will sein mit uns? What will happen to us?
The best hope for Jews was escape. Most of the world closed its doors, but one fledgling nation, the Philippines, did not. In this tropical paradise, thousands of miles from Europe, an unlikely group of poker players were planning a rescue. These poker players were Manuel Quezon, the country's newly elected president, Paul McNutt, U.S. High Commissioner to the Philippines, an ambitious Army colonel named Dwight Eisenhower, and 5 cigar makers from Cincinnati, the Frieder brothers. They had a plan that would save more than 1,300 Jews from Nazi death camps, a plan for a rescue in the Philippines.
This is so emotional.
How could anybody have known that it would get to be what it did? How could anybody have imagined that a whole nation would close its eyes and ears? And yet, you know what? I think it could happen anywhere again.
Beginning in 1933, Adolf Hitler and his Nazi thugs steadily transformed first Germany and then much of Europe into a living nightmare for Jews.
Then in 1935, the Nuremberg Laws came out, which stripped Jews of citizenship. All of their rights were slowly being stripped away.
Jews were no longer Germans, even if they had fought and bled for their country in previous wars.
My dad took all his medals, which had been framed, and took them outside and threw them into the fire.
So emotional.
Jewish homes were invaded.
I was in the crib still, and the SS came. I guess I was taking a nap. I woke up, and my eye level was their boots, these shiny, shiny boots. I remember screaming my head off.
Nazi propaganda presented Jews as traitors, killers, monsters.
Kids came and threw stones at me and called me dirty Jew.
And worst of all, their loved ones could be taken at any moment.
Nazis came in, knocked on the door, took my father out and put him in the Dachau.
The violence peaked in November 1938 with a highly organized orgy of destruction and terror. It was called Kristallnacht because the glass from the broken windows glittered in the street like crystal.
Kristallnacht arrived and the SS group, SA men, came to our house, came through the door, went to the bathrooms and into the living room, destroyed everything.
4 of them came in with the dogs. And I was terribly frightened. I was terribly frightened that they would take my dolls.
I remember when they burned the temple.
It was ablaze and surrounded by the German fire department, which made sure that none of the non-Jewish homes were going to be burned.
I was asleep when the SS knocked on the door. And in order to get out, I went back into my room, dressed in the oldest clothes I had, took a stick, and went down the stairs into the hall where the mob was screaming bloody murder. And I took that stick and broke a few, I think it was paintings or mirrors, myself, until I got to the outside.
That night, my grandmother and I were all by ourselves, and suddenly stones crashed through our windows. Then I knew that they were after us. We were hunted.
When Kristallnacht was over, more than 100 synagogues had burned. Thousands of Jewish businesses were destroyed, and tens of thousands of Jews were forced into concentration camps, all in the passage of just one night. Diplomats held meetings, made speeches, and passed resolutions, but little, if anything, was done.
European Jewry is really ground to dust between 2 big millstones. One is the hateful bestiality of Nazi Germany, and the other is the apathy of the governments of the world.
In one country half a world away, an escape plan to provide refuge for Jews was already underway. 6,000 miles from Berlin, the Philippines was a country most Europeans knew only from postcards. Much like the movie Casablanca, people lived by their own rules. Motor cars shared the roads with horse-drawn caramatas. Coca-Cola coexisted with carabaos. And at the legendary Manila Hotel, the elite could sit and share a drink in air-conditioned comfort. For centuries, Manila had welcomed refugees.
It was really a fantastic mix of different peoples. Czechs, Poles, Latvians, Lebanese, Middle East, people from the Middle East, Indians. It was a mixture. And I think that was one thing that made Manila such a cosmopolitan center, because all these people coming and going, trading, staying, mixing, intermarrying.
The Philippines was once a U.S. colony, but in 1935, President Franklin Roosevelt signed a law making it a semi-independent commonwealth, promising complete independence in 10 years.
Senor Quezon, I congratulate you. Mr. President, I want to express to you the thanks.
President Manuel Quezon was determined his country would take its place among the great nations of the world. Manuel Luis Quezon was a complex person who made a deep and lasting impression on his country. Born poor, he moved into the world of wealth and power with easy bravado.
He had the total assurance, self-assurance, that he was the equal of anyone he faced. There's a Filipino concept that we call the colonial mentality, this idea that you're inferior, that you're never quite as good. He never had that problem.
He's a snappy dresser, you know, but he loved to dance and he loved to party too.
One writer said, he is full of nerve and nerves. He's one of the world's best ballroom dancers, also one of the world's supplest and hardest-boiled politicians. He loves cards and alcohol, and he loves his country. Manuel Quezon also loved the underdog.
a man like Quezon, who himself had been a prisoner, who had gotten malaria in the field, would have known what it's like to be on the run, to have no options.
What it looks like.
To a man working for the freedom of his country would certainly know what.
Oh my God. Oh. This video is so... If you haven't experienced war, you won't understand. You won't understand. And thanks to the Philippines for giving them a helping hand. Oh God, guys, I'm just short of words. I'm short of words right now. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section. See you all on my next one.